What's up, Acolyte Squad? My name is Prince, and I'm an urban acolyte. Hey, man, these Star Wars fans out here wilding out over the last episode of The Mandalorian. I thought, all I've been seeing all year is, Ahsoka's coming to The Mandalorian, Rosario Dawson. Oh, we can't wait to see Ahsoka. And it's like now people are upset about Ahsoka and about Dave Filoni, the job that he did on probably the best episode, the best thing we've seen in Star Wars, maybe since Disney started, signing the paychecks, right? I don't want to say the best because, I loved Rebels, the Clone Wars. I still haven't watched all of season 7, but the Clone Wars was dope. And something I didn't say in my reaction video was that they connected, even though Ashley wasn't Ahsoka, and that's one thing some of the people are upset about, that Rosario Dawson is live action Ahsoka, not Ashley Eckstein. But what did I tell y'all? I said I pay attention to the stunt people. I said this way back in a video about Ahsoka and possible spinoffs and whatnot, about Laura Mary Kim doing the motion capture for Ahsoka in that fight scene against Maul, where Ray Park was Darth Maul, right? There were real people that choreographed that fight scene. They motion captured it and then reproduced it, digitally, in that great episode of the Clone Wars. I actually did watch that one, right? And who was Rosario Dawson's stunt double in the Jedi episode of The Mandalorian? Laura Mary Kim, right? She's pretty cool. My homeboy Ted was one of the people that, kept kicking me in the butt to get me to come here to Thailand. Ted Ridings, I don't want to, cause I'll get on a huge tangent talking about Ted. But his dad died. His little brother, there's the Jimmy Rice Foundation, because his little brother was abducted and sexually abused and killed. And, Ted's dad, his father, started the Jimmy Rice Foundation, where they donate, bloodhounds to police departments all over the U.S. to help find missing children, because they found out if they had bloodhound dogs searching for Jimmy, that he'd probably still be alive. But Ted, I was saying that Ted is a online personal trainer, got a great fat loss over 40 thing. If you follow me on Twitter, I'm always retweeting Ted's stuff. It's funny, we kind of met through YouTube. We both were big fans of Elliot Hulse at one point in time. Ted even got to the point where he was speaking on stage at the same events as Elliot Hulse. But Ted has a podcast, Legendary Life Podcast, and he actually interviewed Laura Mary Kim back in the day. And I was like, yo, man, I want to do this Urban Acolyte podcast. And he was like, yo, man, she's cool. Just, shoot her something. So me talking about this whole off the dome thing, I definitely, once I sit down and when we get moved out of here, I definitely want to have her on. But that's me rambling. Like I said, if I start talking about Ted, I'll ramble on. These people are wilding out, man. Like I said, they're upset that Ashley Eckstein wasn't Ahsoka. They're upset because Ahsoka's montrails are not the same length as the other Togruta Jedi Master, who we've seen pictures of. What's her name? Shakti, right? Because Shakti is in deleted scenes from Revenge of the Sith, right? And they're like, well, we already know what they're supposed to look like, and that's not what Ahsoka looked like. Rosario Dawson Ahsoka looked like. Dave Filoni doesn't know what he's doing, right? I've legit seen people who have been on the Star Wars show who have, and this same person, if you read the Star Wars comic books, right, who got the opportunity to write an essay that was in one of them, right? I've seen people wilding out. It's like every week somebody is offended by something in The Mandalorian. And it's not just cause one of you guys like, replied on Twitter is like these dumb cucks or something. And I'm like, no, I'm talking about like women who actually have done work, who've been out to Skywalker Ranch. And I'm not talking about some NPC like me on YouTube that's just talking out of their ass, right? Or off the dome in my case. Right? I'm not talking about the fandominist people or some random person, some Raylo person who is still upset that Rey was denied the opportunity to have good sex with Kylo Ren or whatever the latest, idiotic, moronic statement they're rallying behind on Twitter. And to my personal friends who are Raylo fans, I see y'all getting in those conversations too. So I'm definitely calling you an idiot and a moron too. And if you want to end our real life friendship because you have this attachment to Raylo, hey man, it's not like I talk to you anyway. So peace out, best of life to you. And, I just won't fuck with you no more. And, you don't fuck with me no more. So I'm giving zero fucks right now. And I've like lowered the monetization on this video with every time I drop a F-bomb. So I'm really not trying to cuss too much because I got a wife and a stepson to take care of now. Right. So, if she knew every time I cuss in a video, it like affects my monetization, she'd probably be trying to Tony Jaa me right now, but she's taking a shower. So let me chill on that. But yo, man, these people are wilding out. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like, I really have some things I want to say, but I'm kind of tired right now. And I want to like collect all my thoughts, like people refusing to call, dang it, I done forgot his name now. What is Grogu? They're like, yo, man, he's still Baby Yoda to me. Mama call him Baby Yoda. I'm gonna call him Baby Yoda, right? Like Cassius Clay, Muhammad Ali, Coming to America. If you didn't get the joke, right? Hey, man, we knew. They told us during season 1, at some point, the child has a name. At some point, you will find out the child's name. That's why Disney, Lucasfilm, they kept saying all after season 1 wrapped up that they didn't want people getting attached to the name Baby Yoda, right? They weren't calling him Baby Yoda on any official stuff, but the fans know more than the people who are writing this stuff, who are calling the shots, right? Dave Filoni, all of a sudden, like, you know what? I ain't even gonna hold back. I was trying to like not say your name, but freaking, Bria Livornia, whatever, however you say your last name, right? She's up here. She got people talking about, they know Ahsoka better than Dave Filoni. Dave Filoni and George Lucas came up with the character. Right? They're upset that Ahsoka was like, yo, I've seen only one of his kind. It was a great Jedi master named Yoda. Right? So people are upset because she didn't say anything about Yaddle. Yaddle's been erased. I'm telling y'all, that's if it hadn't blown up already, it's morning in America, Saturday morning, the time I'm recording this for y'all. Right? Next week, that's going to be the conversation that they erased Yaddle. Right? We don't know the outcome of Yaddle because, in Fallen Order, it's like, well, we don't know the outcome of her, but the little pilot dude on the ship that Cal Kestis is on has a crush on Yaddle. Right? So Yaddle's been erased. Yaddle erasure. Right? Look, man, I went to a small college, a small university. It had, Episcopal Seminary, the School of Theology. It had the undergrad program. It had all the faculty and staff, right? And then we had a sports program. Look, your boy, I mean, yeah, y'all think the narrative that I've given you is, I went to college and I studied religion and we talked about Star Wars all the time in my religion classes, right? But I actually came in as a computer science major. I wanted to learn how to do motion capture and all that stuff. Now you can learn that stuff. Back in the 90s, now, hell, you don't even need to go to school for that. Shit, you take you a green screen, you learn some 3D, sculpting or whatever, you get After Effects, right? You can buy you spend probably, 2-3 grand, you can do it all from your bedroom and be making video games. But back in the 90s, I was telling people, I wanted to know how, like YouTube, if I had YouTube and I was in college, man, no telling what would be, well, it's no telling how it would be going down now. Right. But what I was saying is that, that's what I wanted to do. And outside, if you didn't teach in the computer science department, philosophy, history, religion, or you weren't a basketball coach, I really didn't know who you were, right? If you, and half the students, right? My name is Prince. So my grandparents would come to like parent weekends and stuff. Be, hey, Prince, what's up, Prince? And my grandma would be like, how come you don't know their name? And I'm like, Grandma, it's like 20 black kids on campus total, right? Maybe 30 at the most. I think it was like 25 my freshman year. I was like, so, usually it's, like there were a couple of girls and everybody like got them confused because apparently we all look alike. But I was like, it's not but a handful of black folks, and then my name is Prince. So naturally everybody knows me. I was like, but it's like 50 girls named Jenny here. And a lot of times I was like, hey, what's up, Jenny? How you doing? And I just, hell, she looks like a Jenny, Jenny, Jennifer, Jen, right? I'm really not lying. It was either Jenny, or Jennifer. How you doing, Jennifer? Right? Almost everybody. As I'm joking about that, I just like pictured like 5 different Jenny, Jennifers, Jens in my head that I went to school with, right? So there might have been some famous, and there actually were some famous people, right? That on the staff, right? We had people like, one poli-sci teacher, Barclay Ward, I think, was like part of like the UN nuclear proliferation treaties and stuff. And then, Dr. Elwood Dunn, who became the academic chair for my fraternity that we started. Shout out to my little brother Kendrick, who's a frat brother who watches the channel, him and his little cousin. Dr. Elwood Dunn was the only person to survive, the coup d'etat in, Liberia. Right. And so he taught all these courses on like, African politics and juntas and warlords in Africa. And he was talking from personal experience, right? We had a lot of teachers like that where they taught a class and it's like you sit down and here's a textbook and the professor's name was on a textbook, right? So all kind of famous people. But what did I say? If you didn't teach in the departments that I took classes from, I didn't know you. Right. So Ahsoka says, yeah, I knew one of his kind, Yoda, right? Because she had a lot of interaction with Yoda. Yaddle, not so much. Right. But all of a sudden, because you eat, sleep and dream Star Wars, you know more than Dave Filoni knows about Star Wars. These people are wilding out. Right. They're upset because Baby Yoda is a baby. He eats Grogu eats Frog Lady's eggs. Right. They're upset about that. Well, he denied the opportunity of life and this and that. Grogu is a baby. He's hungry, right? He's hungry. He's going to eat. He learned his lesson, right? when you get the full story, then you understand. It's like every time people have been upset and offended by stuff, what have I said? And I said it in the Frog Lady video. I was like, you know what? Maybe you need to wait until you get the whole story before you start getting offended. People are upset about Ahsoka's montrails and what's his name? Matt, one of the dudes on the story group, right? The young looking dude, right? He said, look, I'm gonna reshare this. He retweeted. Somebody on the set said, look, Jon Favreau is big on practical effects, getting back to the original thing that George Lucas did. And for Laura Mary Kim, she couldn't do the stunts with the big ass horns and montrails and stuff. She needed little ones in order to keep her costume intact, to do all the flips and everything else that Ahsoka's doing, to be a Jedi, right? So if we're going to retcon that's how to look now, that they don't get the big montrails and stuff. They don't have the exaggerated features that we saw in the animated shows, because everything in animation doesn't look like, they had the skinny rapier looking lightsabers in Rebels, but that's not how they looked in the Clone Wars. It's not how they look in the movies, right? So the in canon, now is canon that Ahsoka's montrails aren't going to be big, because the stunt performers can't wear them if they're big and huge and all over the place. And I'm okay with that, because that's real life, man. If you got to pick and choose. Well, can they CGI it? No, they can't, because they want practical effects. Now, if that offends you, if you have a problem with it, look, man, just fucking don't watch anymore. It's really that simple, man. Like, these Star Wars motherfuckers need to find some new hobbies, man. They freaking, more than Dave. 1 minute Dave Filoni was the GOAT. Dave Filoni, you're our only hope. You can fix everything, Dave. And now, because the story in your head isn't the one that we see, now your feelings are hurt. And I'm like, look at what this episode gave us. It gave us Ahsoka. We don't know what happened with Sabine and Captain Rex, right? Tia Sakar is like, I think Sabine might be dead, right? Cause she doesn't know, right? She's not, it's cool. It's awesome that she's a huge Star Wars fan. And, judging from that Princess Leia Hutt Slayer costume she wore a few years ago, I think even before she was cast in Rebels, she's a little bit of a Star Wars fan, you know what I'm saying? But it's great that she keeps up with it and watches The Mandalorian, still interacts with fans, even if they don't support her other projects. And I'm gonna call myself out on that. I have seen some of her other stuff. I've watched things and I'm like, oh shoot, that's Tia Sakar. But some of the other things she's been in, I haven't watched it. I'd say I wish her good luck, but I'm like, yo, man, I'm not going to watch that, because I don't watch I can't watch TV at all unless I find a way to bootleg it or something here in Thailand. So, you can cancel that. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to watch something unless I really, really want to see it. Right. But, so it's like, what happened with, there are other questions we can ask, right? Tython is canon, even though I saw a mention of Tython in something else. So I kind of knew that it was canon, but now it's like, it's not just, oh, I read it somewhere and can't remember. It's like for real, right? Grand Admiral Thrawn, Ahsoka's looking for Thrawn, which means what's the status of Ezra Bridger? What is the relationship between the magistrate and Thrawn that she might have some idea on where he is, what he's been up to. Now, the fact that she was helping build the Imperial Starfleet, I'm thinking that she was funding the stuff that was going on Lothal that we saw in Star Wars Rebels, right? That she was helping Thrawn build up that fleet, and possibly she might also unknowingly be helping him build up the Chiss fleet, the Chiss Ascendancy, with the folks that, because it sounds like there's some kind of split with some of the people in the Ascendancy siding with the Grisk, and then the people who are trying to fight the Grisk, right? So we could get into all the Timothy Zahn stuff that he's been setting up, right? Like Star Wars, I was having this chat with Geekdom. He might do the video on his World of Geekdom channel, but I was like, yo, man, I think Dave Filoni is getting ready to fix the sequel saga. And so if y'all follow my bro Geekdom, most of you do, hey man, bro, Danny, if you watch this video, hey man, I'm a dust my own shoulder off for giving you the idea to do that video. I hope the shit blows up. You don't have to shout me out or nothing. I'm just happy to be bros with you. Real talk, no cap, right? I don't even know what that means. I just, from hanging around all them young kids and stuff before I left America, cap. Like, that's all they said. I'm like, I don't even know what you mean cap. You ain't got a hat on. What the fuck you keep saying cap for? No cap? Yeah, you ain't got no hat on. I done got old, y'all. But yeah, I'm glad I'm laughing, because I really was kind of like ticked off. But hopping on here off the dome, just chatting with my people, I feel better. I feel better about our community. The rest of these motherfuckers, I don't know. They on some bullshit. That's all. I'm just leaving it. They on some bullshit, man. They mad about everything. Like, I was just playing. I was like, oh, I wonder what Star Wars fans are going to be mad about after this episode. And then I look up, oh man, she didn't say Yaddle's name. Dave Filoni and Ahsoka hate Yaddle. Oh, I hate Yaddle. Our montrails weren't long enough. She didn't look like Shaq T from a deleted scene, which means it's not canon, and Revenge of the Sith. Oh, I'm so angry that they excluded Ashley Eckstein, and they made, well, wait a minute. 1 minute you were happy that Rosario Dawson was Ahsoka Tano, and now you're upset that Ashley didn't get the nod. And I mean, there are probably reasons for that. One of them, I started to do a video about why, cause I remember one time I was like, I don't know how I feel about, Rosario Dawson being Ahsoka, but she killed it, man. And, I'll admit, at first I was like, I don't know, man. Like, she just said, I want to be Ahsoka Tano a few years back. And I was like, I don't know. What do y'all think? And then, then it happened and I was like, I don't know. What do y'all think? Right? Somebody called me a hater. I'm like, yo, man, I'm just saying, I don't know. It's not being a hater, right? It's even people gotta stop. And this isn't just a Star Wars geek culture thing. This is in general. People got to stop getting butthurt every time somebody has a different opinion, right? Like, if I say I think Tai Chi Chuan is the greatest traditional martial art of all time, if you're in the classical, Okinawan karate, or you do silat, or hell, even catch wrestling, I consider that a classical traditional martial art, right? You might disagree with me, and that's okay. It's okay to not agree with what people say. Everybody has a different opinion, right? There's different schools of Buddhism, different types of Buddhism. Somebody can say esoteric Tibetan Buddhism is the greatest version of Buddhism if you want to become enlightened. And some of these Theravadan monks here in Thailand might say, I don't necessarily know about that, right? But if you're a lay person and you're like, yo, man, I'm a lay person, I want to be like a lay monk, then yeah, Tibetan Buddhism, because they have a tradition, there's a clear tradition. Look at, I can't even think of the name. There's a documentary, but in Tibetan Buddhism, there's a tradition of lay people it's just like a Tibetan Buddhist monk. You can go to the monastery and then you get ordained. You can do it here in Thailand too, but it's not the same. And I don't want my wife to cuss me out after I, finish recording this video. So I'm not going to say too much about it because I really don't know that much about, Theravadan Buddhism or, Buddhism in Thailand to consider myself any kind of expert at all. But Tibetan Buddhism, you can be ordained and then you're like, okay, I'm not taking off the robe, but I'm going to go and live like a regular person. I'm going to be a lay person. I'm going to get married. I'm going to have kids, but I'm still going to continue to practice like a monk, except, now I got to get up and I'm a householder, right? That's what I mean by lay tradition. Now there's also, they'll teach lay people, but you have to do a whole lot of stuff. A lot of times it involves doing a whole lot of stuff. Like you might have to spend 10 years getting their trust or whatever. And then it's like, okay, now we'll start to teach you because we trust you. You've shown your dedication. And then some people are just like, I'm just going to fast track you because I don't feel like, beating around the bush. You seem sincere. You look like a hard worker. Or maybe I'm looking at you and I can tell you were some reincarnated master and you did all that 10-year stuff in like 2 lifetimes ago. And you just unfortunately were born in America, right? So you got money and time to practice, right? So I'm just going to hook you up, right? So, somebody that's looking for that, they might disagree, right? But at the end of the day, it's like, yo, man, I don't agree with your path. You don't agree with my path, but I can respect it and we're not enemies. We're both striving for the same thing. But I don't know, man. It's like, I don't know if it's an America thing, if it's a young person thing, if it's a hormonal thing, like all of the, not phytoestrogens, because that's plant estrogens, but what's the estrogen, like toxic estrogen that's in like plastics and these different chemicals, right? Like, and this is not an attack on estrogen if I have any feminists watching, right? Cause I get that a lot, that I start talking about this stuff and I get some feminists who thinks I'm attacking estrogen. Look, man, if your hormones are imbalanced, you're going to be fucking crazy. It doesn't matter if you're gay, straight, bi, tri, whatever, however you present yourself and whatever, if you do the sticking and licking or you the receiving, the giver, whatever, it don't matter, right? If your hormones are not optimized, you're going to be fucking crazy either way, right?
Guess what, bitch? Coronavirus!
There's a more scientific way to say that, but it's been a hot minute since I've, really read anything up on hormone optimization. And even if I, did get into the science, this is not the time and place for it. The point is, people, they're wilding out. I don't know what it is, right? It ain't the Rona thing. It's just, I don't know, man. It's like the last 10 years, it's like you say something to people, they have a mental meltdown and they just can't handle, yo, man, this is not what I was expecting. Look, man, to wrap this up, Star Wars is not Burger King. You can't have it your way. And if Dave Filoni is the heir apparent to George Lucas did stuff people didn't like. But this was George Lucas's story. Dave Filoni is the heir apparent. And please believe me, this is not the sequel saga. They're not running a relay race where, oh man, here's JJ got the baton and he passes to Ryan Johnson. Ryan Johnson runs his race. Then he passes the baton. Well, even.
Guess what, bitch? Coronavirus!
Sorry, even before the movie was out, the people already working on their version of the movie, right? What's his name? Colin Trevorrow. I've never said his name right. I don't think I've even seen anything he's made. I probably won't. So I don't give a fuck how you say his name. That Colin dude that got fired, right? He was running his own race. And then Kathleen Kennedy was like, nah, player. I ain't got no confidence in you being the finishing leg, right? I'm going to give it back to JJ. JJ, you bring it on home. And JJ's got to scramble and fumble and mumble about. And, we can't be upset about that. Look, I know it's people that jump in the comments. Oh, I hated this. No, Prince, you're wrong. I hated the sequel saga. But look, man, if you want to talk about why you didn't like the sequel saga, go tell somebody who gives a fuck. I'll just be real with you, because I don't care, right? You need to learn how to be here. And if you can't do that, then you don't need to unsubscribe, click not interested, and never see this channel again on YouTube, because we don't dwell on the past, right? We focus on the present. It's fun to think about the future, but we don't even know that either, right? Like, I can't talk. That's why I said in the last video, I was like, yeah, man, they might set this up for chapter 3. We're on, or no, not season 3, season 4. I heard it's going to go 4 seasons. And then I was like, wait a minute, man. We ain't even done with this season. We're on the back half of the season. So we just need to focus on that. Don't even worry about what Moff Gideon might be doing. Moff Gideon might play a bigger part in season 3, according to what Giancarlo Esposito is saying. But he's still got a part to play in what we're seeing now in the next 3 episodes before we even get to next season, right? You need to learn how to focus on what's here and now. And that's why I can't be getting upset about something didn't play out the way I thought it would, or something didn't happen the way I thought it happened, right? People talking about Mace Windu's back. I'm like, as far as we know, Mace Windu's dead. So you don't even need to think about that right now. Well, who saved baby Grogu? Who saved BG? It doesn't matter right now. We need to focus on the story that's here and now. That's in the past. Somebody did it. Could they come back? Could BG, when he learns how to talk to Din Djarin, tell him? I don't know. It's not important right now. Just focus on the story that's right here, right now. And that's really all I got to say on the topic, man. People need to stop wilding out. They need to chill the fuck out and just enjoy the show. I'm enjoying it. Are y'all enjoying it? Because I am. Hey, man, I ain't got a problem with whatever they want to do. They can do it. I'm here for it. And when the season is over, then I'll say, this is what I like. This is what kind of didn't work for me. This is what I wish they could have done differently. And I've said it. I let it go. I've exhaled and I'm going to move on to the next one. Right. Those are my thoughts. Like I said, I just need to get that off my chest. Hey, man, before I go, I just want to say I appreciate y'all, the real homies, the real Acolyte squad, for supporting the channel. I see the views are down, but the views been down for the last 2 years. Most of that is my fault. Some of it algorithm changes, but I can't blame the algorithm for everything. I could tell y'all exactly like things that have happened, but if you don't care about YouTube on that level, it really won't matter, right? But it's some of the stuff that I did, well, all of the stuff I did is me, as we say in Ely Chin, I didn't change with the change, right? Being here, right? If YouTube wants you to stay here when things change, I'm like back here, still operating on 2013 rules, doing things the way you could do in 2013, 2012, 2011 and still blow up. Something changed in 2017. I didn't adjust, right? What does Larry Czar say on the Final Fantasy 14 videos? He says, healers adjust. Hey man, if I was a healer, my whole party would be dead because I didn't adjust, right? Y'all, the real Acolyte squad homies has been coming through, showing up. Hey man, 77% of my watch time is coming from subscribers. It's been coming from y'all to subscribe, that watch, try to see everything. And I'm seeing some of my numbers that people don't know anything about, right? People talking about subscriber to view ratio. They don't know what that stuff means. It's those things mean specific things like where your it shows where your traffic is coming from. But some of these doomcock dickheads come on here. Oh, you just got ratioed, bro. Likes and dislikes. This shit don't matter. It's, like I could make a video on doomcock and roast him, and then, and all the doomcock dorks will come here and dislike the video. And then they'll tell me I suck because look at my like to dislike ratio. And I'm like, but y'all keep clicking on the video. So my CTR is like 15%, but because they don't know how YouTube works, right? They're just looking at likes and dislikes. I'm like, that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything at all, right? I mean, you're interacting with the video, but 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 you keep watching the video, raising my CTR, that's going to put me in a higher tier, right? They're like, oh, you're jealous. I'm like, how can I be jealous of a motherfucker who can post a video? And when he first posts a video, the first 24 hours, it might get 100,000 impressions, a million impressions in a week. But when I post a video, because I'm not in the same tier, my video might get 10,000 impressions. And if more people click on it and the video has a higher CTR than what I'm normally getting, then it might get 20,000 impressions, 30,000 impressions, right? You can't get more views and impressions in, because like I said, I've been studying with Daryl Eves, Mr. Beast coach, right? I'm a student of YouTube, right? I'm working on stuff that has nothing to do with Star Wars and all this geek culture shit. Right? Like I said, I'm doing these off the dome videos for y'all, right? Because it's other stuff that would be better for me as far as making money on YouTube and actually, things that I'm passionate about. That's not to say I'm not passionate about Star Wars, right? But it's just different people I've sat down with. They're like, hey man, with all the stuff that you can do on YouTube, it would be better for you to do these other things. But I'm like, yo man, I kind of like to give my thoughts on this stuff. I kind of like to just rap with people about, geek stuff when I'm not talking about Tai Chi and meditation and martial arts, Kung Fu. Sometimes I want to take that hat off and just chill, right? And maybe that's what I turn this channel into. It's just a place where I can chill out with y'all, talk about this stuff. If I need to talk for an hour, if I need to talk 30 minutes, if I need to talk 5 minutes, just say what I got to say, chill with y'all. We have a conversation with like-minded people. We have a community. People can interact and engage and share thoughts. We can laugh. You know, we laugh at everybody else. I don't care about being the biggest person in Star Wars. You know, I care about having the dopest community, right? I said the dopest community, not, oh, we know the most Star Wars trivia. I don't give a shit about Star Wars trivia, right? All them people, hey man, y'all need to have Urban Acolyte on the schmoes nose, whatever the fuck. No, we don't, because I probably go upside Christian Harloff's head. I'm gonna just be real with you. That ain't me making a threat. That's just me saying, like, I don't see me getting along with them, right? That was one of the reasons I started the channel in the first place. I used to watch Collider Jedi Council, and I was like, I don't agree with y'all, right? I think that me and John Campea would probably get in an argument, and I'd choke his ass out at some point. Somebody could tell John Campea, I said, what's he gonna do? You wouldn't choke me out because I would cry first. That ain't me saying like I'm not trying to make it sound like I'm a tough guy or I put my hands on everybody, but mentally I'd be like, man, I want to choke you the fuck out, man. I need to go outside, go do some qigong or something. Y'all need to like leave me alone, stop talking to me so I can go outside and woosah, because I'm getting to that point where I might pull a Spreewell on you, and you looking like PJ Carlissimo right now, right? That's all I'm saying. Like, that angry black man thing, that ain't no myth. That's real. That's real. That's why I need to be spending. That's why I'm in the land of Buddha, because I can't be doing that, right? Need Buddha to help me not go upside somebody's head. Like these people getting mad, talk about, I ain't calling him Grogu, I'm calling him Baby Yoda. Ahsoka Tano's montrails aren't the right length. I want Ashley Eckstein to be Ahsoka. Dave Filoni doesn't know what he's doing. I know more about Star Wars than Dave Filoni. That's how they sound, man. I ain't got nothing else to say, but hey, man, since I'm rocking a Naruto shirt, hey, man, there's another channel called Urban Acolyte. Actually, there's like 3 channels called Urban Acolyte. I need to do something because they got my logo, they got my name, everything, but only one of those Urban Acolyte channels, if you see it, it's got anime on it. I'm getting ready to jump off into Naruto. I'm like doing reactions, but it's like I'm talking about the hero's journey, and I'm making them reactions because that's the only way I'll watch it. The only way I'll watch it is if I react to it. Otherwise, I'll like start it and I won't finish. And I know some of y'all are on that channel and you're like, well, you started Hunter x Hunter. You hadn't finished. We went out of town twice. Now we're getting ready to move. I have like 3 episodes that I haven't published yet that I did before all the trips and everything. I will pick back up with Hunter x Hunter once we get moved and we're settled in the new place. So it's not something I started and not going to finish. I'm going to start doing Naruto too, and Dragon Ball next year once we get settled in the new place. So the people asking about the art on the walls and you need to get posters. No, I don't need to do none of that because in a month from now, we won't even be in the same part of Thailand, right? Moving to Bangkok, right? One night in Bangkok and the world's your oyster. I can see the devil looking out on me. Right? Bangkok. Everybody. Right? What did Confucius say about a man who walks through the turnstile sideways? He going to Bangkok. I better stop making fun of Bangkok or Nisa really will come over here and beat the shit out of me on camera. And I'm not going to hit my wife. So I'll choke the fuck out of one of them. Never mind. I better not even finish that thought because I could go to jail for what I was about to say. Not about Nisa. I'm talking about, y'all know who I was talking about. Just rewind the video back and who I said I'd go upside the head, right? But not my wife. She whooped my ass. Yeah. I'm just gonna leave it at that. This is 40-minute long video. This is a podcast, basically. This is a video podcast at this point. But for real, I'm going to go spend some time with my wife now. Thanks for letting me get this off my chest. These Star Wars dorks on here wilding out over the best episode of The Mandalorian to date. And it's only going to get better. And I'll be here to talk about all of it with y'all on the next video. Actually, the next video, yo, man, I want to talk about MCU stuff. So I want to talk about Scarlet Witch and WandaVision. I know them people ain't really seeing the videos, but I want to make a video about some of the articles, share the news with y'all, share my opinion. So look out for that video. I'm probably not going to do it tonight for me. I'm going to do it tomorrow. Yeah, it's like 2 or 3 articles that I want to read them and talk about them because I'm like really excited for WandaVision, especially with Spectrum, Black Captain Marvel. I need to just be calling her. I know her name is Monica Rambeau. It's Monica, right? Her mom is not Monica. Y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about. But shit. Well, I'm excited for that. Like I really cannot wait for Marvel Phase 4 to kick off. Like I know I didn't really make videos about Marvel movies, but I really enjoy Marvel. And you know, as far as I'm concerned, this is the Star Wars for these young kids. Like Infinity War was big because I was working in the high schools, and Endgame was big. I remember there was one day all my classes, all they wanted to talk about was Infinity War before it came out. All they wanted to talk about was Infinity War. Then I remember I saw it and I had fucking freshmen. I had to, cause I was with, the French teacher at McGavick was out of town for like a week. It felt like 2 weeks. So I had like upperclassmen, and then that Friday after Endgame came out, cause I saw it the first night, I had that. Yeah, she came back on a Friday, and I had freshmen, and this kid walked in, and the first thing he said was that after Endgame? It might have been after Endgame. I thought it was Infinity War. It was Endgame. Yeah. But he walks in, he's like, Iron Man died. Like, he's just walked into the classroom and just yells, Iron Man died. And that's why nobody likes freshmen, man. That's why nobody likes 9th graders, man. I looked at him, I was like, you know what? If I hadn't seen the movie already, I kind of want to choke you out. Oh, and he was like, oh, is it true? I haven't even seen it. I was like, you little motherfucker, man. That's why nobody likes freshmen. Nobody likes freshmen. Nobody likes middle school kids and freshmen because they like want to be grown, but they're still babies. Right? At least boys. With girls bad too, but especially the boys. Girls are worse because they think they're grown. Around that age, they swear they're grown. I'm like, you ain't grown. Little girl, sit your ass down. You ain't grown. But anyway, y'all, hey man, speaking of that, that's how these Star Wars fans acting. But they grown. They acting like fucking babies, man. That's exactly, they freshmen. That's what we gonna start calling them. Cause I gotta stop cussing calling them motherfuckers. These freshmen running around here getting out of pocket. Oh, I know more about Star Wars, Dave Filoni, Ahsoka's montrails weren't. Ahsoka doesn't know Yaddle. You need to shut your little freshman ass up, sit down, watch the show, and shut up and enjoy it and wait till it's over and then cry. Right? The little freshmen, man. These freshmen is fucking it up for everybody else. I'm going to leave it at that. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out to the Acolyte squad. Y'all keep on breathing. I'll holler at you on the next video. Watch that WandaVision video, y'all. I'm going to kick your ass. Okay, I really won't. I got me some tea. This some good tea.
No? Yes?
Good.
Yeah, I told you no bitter. You said bitter. I said no.
Bitter.